And this is Rick Hall behind the camera. And that's right, folks. We're here with Don McCall, and he is the jailer in Letcher County. Don, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Could you please let our viewers know our current location?
We are in the Letcher County Jail in my private office.
I want to ask you right off the bat when you were born and where you were born.
I was born in 1964 here in Whitesburg, Kentucky.
And tell me just a little bit about where you went to school.
I went to school at West Whitesburg Elementary and Whitesburg Middle School and graduated from Whitesburg High School in 1983.
Well, I'll tell you what. Now you definitely must bleed a little bit of. Well, what would be the colors? Is the colors orange for orange and black?
Orange and black. Yeah.
So you got that orange and black blood, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, before we start talking about your job here in Letcher County in the jail, I want to get to know you a little bit better. Tell me a little bit about your parents.
My parents are Jimmy and Verna Faye Adams McCall, and they reside at Cram Creek.
And were they pretty rough on you growing up there? Were you a pretty bad boy, or were you?
Yeah, I was.
Oh gosh.
No, they were pretty strict, but they did the best they could.
Well, you turned out well. Kudos to them.
I appreciate that.
How about your current family?
My wife Sharon and I have been married since 1993, and we have 3 children. Brooke, age 15, and Caitlin is 13, and Quade is 5.
Well, I imagine there's probably a little bit of phone texting going on here.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, these kids, they can fly on those things, man.
Absolutely.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your current job. You're the Letcher County jailer. How long have you been with this department?
I started at the jail in 1989 as a deputy jailer. In 1995, I was promoted to chief deputy jailer, and then in 2006, I ran for office and was elected, and I recently was re-elected to this office, so I'll be starting my second term in January.
So there'll be no opposition for you in November, right?
No, I was fortunate enough not to have any Republican opposition.
And share with our viewers some of the jailers that you've served under.
I started under Eugene Banks, and then Mr. Banks resigned, and Clyde Anderson was jailer for a brief period of time, and then Gary Cornett ran and was elected, I think, in January of 1994 to start his first term. Gary was jailer 3 terms.
You know, Gary's over the sanitation department now, and I was taking a little ride with him the other day, and if you remember, I called you, and as soon as I hung up, I turned the camera on, and I said, well, Don, tell us where we're going now. Oh, he got tickled over that. Now, I want to talk, there's always a lot of rumors and speculation and opinions about a county jail. And one of the goals today of this interview with you, Don, is to put to rest some of that stuff. Now, what I want to start out with is you've got a piece of paper laying there on your desk. I want you to tell the folks what that is, and then I'd like for you to read it if you would.
Okay. Twice annually, the jail is inspected by the Kentucky Department of Corrections by a jail specialist assigned to this region by that department, and they come in and basically inspect everything that goes on at your jail, how you operate it, how well your staff is trained, your menus, your medication log sheets. And this is a copy of the letter that was issued by the Director of Local Facilities, Mr. Jeff Burton. And it says that, Dear Mr. McCall, enclosed you will find the results of the first annual inspection of the Letcher County Jail conducted on April 6, 2010. I am pleased to announce that no items of noncompliance were noted on the day of inspection. Thank you for your continued cooperations in meeting the standards. And what that letter says basically is that we have had a perfect inspection. No items of noncompliance, and the inspector that inspected our jail says that is the first perfect inspection he's ever issued since he's been working there.
Now, we're not talking about just the first one here in Letcher County. You mean of anywhere?
Of anywhere, yeah.
Wow, and, congratulations, Don.
A lot of the credit goes to my staff, and I'm very proud of them, and I'm very proud of our perfect inspection.
Somebody gets put in jail, they become an inmate. They give up a lot of their rights, and I want you to explain to me some of the ways that you help keep the inmates safe. What happens if they get sick? How do you control fights? What weapons do you have against all this stuff?
Basically, when a person is accepted into the doors of this jail and we book them in, we're responsible for their care and custody the entire time they're here. We take every measure within our power to ensure their safety and make sure that their needs are met while they're in our custody. We house people not based on whether they're charged with a felony or misdemeanor, or whether they're a state inmate or a county inmate. We house folks based on compatibility. Now, on the street, a lot of these folks know each other, and they may have stolen from each other. They may owe each other money. One of them may be an informant that's testified against them in court before. They may owe each other for money, may have went out with each other's girlfriends or wives. So we basically house folks that we think can get along. We make rounds periodically, and we do visual checks, and we have a computerized record system that when a deputy jailer turns the key, it prints out to the 1/10 of a second what time they checked on them. General population, we try to check them twice an hour. We have a control room operator 24 hours a day, 7 days a week that monitors inside those cells. We have a high-tech security camera system that records and monitors 24 hours a day in the hallways, inside the cells, and the booking desk to ensure that there are no assaults that go unnoticed. The medical needs, we have a doctor that comes in every week to treat the inmates that are incarcerated here. We also have a contract with the ER for emergency medical needs.
Now, you mentioned about your cameras. Number one, I want to know, do the inmates know that camera's there? Number two, how long have you had the system? And number three, what have been the benefits?
The inmates do know they're there. We want them to know. We want that to be a deterrent to assaults, fights, and passing of contraband. Some of the benefits have been that we have successfully prosecuted a few assault cases, and that has deterred assaults. We haven't had a fight in 6 months, I'd venture to say.
Length of time you've had the system?
We've had it for about a year.
About a year?
Yeah.
Okay, talk to me a little bit. I want to go into greater detail about the medical care that the inmates get. I know you mentioned the contract. Go into a little bit more detail in that area.
If an inmate has a prior medical condition prior to entering the jail, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, those are pretty high priorities. So we make sure that if they don't have medications with them, that we attempt to get those down here to them. If not, we'll take them directly to the ER and get those. So there are categories of importance as far as medical needs go. We have a doctor that comes in every week to handle non-emergency medical complaints. We have medical request forms that are available to every inmate in the jail, and if they have a problem such as a bad back or whatever, they'll fill out that medical request form and submit it to the nurse practitioner that comes in to screen those, and she'll actually bring them out and treat them here on site and write prescriptions or refer them elsewhere if necessary. She can do lab work orders, the same treatment. She's actually the doctor I go to when I'm going to get my blood pressure medication.
So she's your family doctor?
She's my family doctor.
Okay.
So. But I feel like that we meet the medical needs of the inmates as well as they can be met out in the community.
Talk to me a little bit, Don, about some of the improvements that you've seen over the years. You say you started in '89, was it?
Yes.
From '89 up till today, what are some of the bigger improvements that you've seen?
The biggest improvement I've seen is the new jail. Of course, in 1998, We moved from the old jail down to here.
So now the old jail, I think, was it
The
upstairs?
old jail was on the 3rd floor,
Right.
and there was no elevator, of course. And all the intoxicated individuals had to be escorted up 3 flights of stairs to the old
Nice
jail.
way of saying carrying, I believe, but go ahead.
We actually had bars on the cells,
Oh, my
and the
goodness.
old doors had a system of levers and handles that you had to work like you were operating a bulldozer to
Goodness.
open and crank the doors manually.
It's like you see in the old movies and stuff, huh?
So the biggest improvement I've seen in my career has been the new jail, the building of the new jail. And I actually took the last inmate out of the old jail and put the first inmate in this new jail.
Well, that was historic.
Yeah, it really was.
How was that transition? I imagine it had to be kind of complicated.
It was kind of complicated. We had about half the staff to come in, and we escorted them down a couple of people at a time until we got them all housed.
Well, now that you've got this jail, how many inmates is it designed for?
We have 54 beds,
And how many inmates do you typically keep?
about 70.
How do you compensate for the extra inmates?
Well, we're just a little crowded. You know, we'll have a couple of inmates sleeping on the floor in the dormitories, and we provide them with mattresses, pillows, pillowcases, blankets, sheets, towels, washcloths, uniforms, flip-flops. Basically, we provide everything they're going to need to be housed here. We feed 3 meals a day.
What's the times that you serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
We serve breakfast between 6:30 and 7, and lunch is between 11:30 and 12, and suppers between 4:30 and 5.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the food here. You've invited me to come down and have lunch tomorrow, and if my schedule permits, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
What's some of the meals you serve here? What do they eat, and who fixes them?
Vicki Sturgill is the head cook, and we worked with her and Susan Williams at the Kentucky Department of Corrections to come up with a menu plan that meets the caloric requirements and nutritional needs of all the inmates. You actually have to have your menus approved and certified by a nutritionist. We have every kind of meal that you would have at your house.
What if you're a diabetic?
If you're a diabetic, then we have, of course, we have a specialized menu, and
Okay.
we actually watch about everything on diabetics. We follow the diabetic diet that's prescribed by the physician. Usually it's low sugar, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And we have test kits that they can check their blood sugar regularly, and whatever medications the doctor provides for them, we dispense that.
Okay. I want to talk to you about, do you have, for example, air conditioning? Do they have TV? What do they have?
We have climate-controlled thermostats that regulate the temperatures in every cell in the jail. We try to set them and leave them between 70 and 72, but sometimes the inmates will complain that it's too hot or too cold, and we'll make the adjustments at that time. We have color cable remote control televisions. We have an outdoor recreation area up on the roof that's fenced in, that they go outside for outdoor rec. We have church services offered practically every day.
Oh, that's nice.
We have GED classes twice a week.
Wow.
We have a recovering addict that comes in every Wednesday to speak with the inmates that are interested in trying to get clean and stay clean off of drugs. I'd say 80% of our population is drug addicts. Every crime committed in this county is directly or indirectly related to drugs. Thefts, burglaries, assaults, even DUIs are drugs now, not alcohol. So the biggest problem we're faced with is the drug problem.
I see a big, I think it's a gray van, has inmates working on it or something like that. What's going on there?
We have a supervised inmate work release program. I've got a deputy jailer that works full-time supervising inmate workers. They're used as a community service. We clean multiple cemeteries, city parks, community parks, senior citizens, schools. We cut grass and weeds. We'll paint, or we pick up garbage every year during the
Pickups and
garbage
cleanups.
pickups,
Yeah.
and we basically just work them any way we can. If there's a day that it rains, we'll let them paint somewhere on the inside. So we try to keep them working at least 40 hours a week every week. We've got 4 workers that work inside the jail doing dishes, laundry. We have our own laundry service here, cleaning the floors, windows, just general maintenance work. We have inmates that work at the Letcher County Recycling Center that helps to save the county money on paying somebody to do that job. We had an inmate that was recently working with the sanitation department. So the inmate work release program is probably the most beneficial thing that we have to offer back to the community. I've also talked with a very generous citizen who has mentioned that he might would donate a tract of property here in Letcher County so that we can farm it. And I plan on in the future, in my next 4-year term, to farm a 6-acre piece of property in this county and raise crops to help feed the prisoners and the senior citizen centers to save the taxpayers' money.
Well, that is a wonderful idea. That really is. Let me ask you this. Are these, the inmates that you have in the work release program, is that part of their sentence? Are they volunteers? What's the deal on that?
They volunteer.
And why do they volunteer?
Well, it's an incentive for them to get outside. They get to breathe a little fresh air. They get out of the cell. Sometimes the judge will allow them to work their fines off. And the district court judge has been allowing the district court inmates that have, for instance, a 60-day sentence to work 30 days and get 2 days for one for the days that they work, so they can cut their sentence in half. And also, this is a non-smoking facility, so inmates that are willing to go out and work, we let them smoke cigarettes out there.
Oh, good,
So,
good deal.
But it's a win-win situation for everybody. It's a good program for community service. It's good for them. It's good for the public.
My boy has been put in jail, and I want to get him out. You're the man I need to come see. You can get him out, right?
No, the bonds are set by the judges. Circuit court bonds are set by Judge Sam Wright, and district court bonds are set by Judge Kevin Mullins. Once a person is arrested and brought to jail and booked in, there's a pretrial release officer who interviews that person, verifies who they are by contacting people that they give them. They run a criminal record check through Frankfurt to make sure they're not wanted for any other crimes anywhere else. Then the pretrial release officer will contact the judge or trial commissioner to have their bond set. All that information is relayed to the judge or trial commissioner along with whatever they're charged with, and the citations read to them. Then the judge makes that decision on setting the bonds.
So I would be wasting my time to come and ask Don McCall, the jailer, to let my son out of jail. You just don't have that authority.
All I can do is give you the bond information. Be glad to do that, though.
I just want to make that abundantly clear so people know the chain of command here. Give me a typical work day for Don McCall.
Well, I usually get here around 7:30 or so, and I take a look at all incident reports, medical requests, arrests from the previous night. I talk with the night shift who are on duty to see what's went on, get kind of a shift report, start my daily paperwork. We have a canteen account fund that's set up to control all the funds of every inmate in the jail. We make deposits every day. We actually were audited. We're audited every year, and we had no write-ups on our audits. But there's a lot of paperwork involved, accounting, and so that takes up the the biggest part of my morning is doing those daily canteen deposits, and also the fees and copays that we collect. In 2007, I went before the fiscal court and asked them if we could collect booking fees, bond fees, work release fees, and medical, dental, and pharmacy copays to help fund the jail through inmate copays. And they voted to allow me to do that. And all the booking fees and bond fees, medical and pharmaceutical copays are turned over to the county treasurer every month. I deposit those daily, and at the beginning of the next month I write the county treasurer a check for all the money that we've collected for the previous month.
What time does your day end?
Usually between 3 and 4.
You go home, and I would assume that you're on call.
On call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
But if you don't have any calls, and get back up and get the routine going again.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I'm here Monday through Friday every week.
Every week.
Yeah.
Now, talk to me about the difference in your budget this year and the difference in your budget last year. I was videoing the Letcher Fiscal Court meeting that you attended, and I was really fascinated.
The budget that I proposed and presented this year is $46,000 less than it was last year. We were actually able to look at the previous year's budget and sit down and sort of do our own little efficiency study and cut corners by ordering through different vendors and cut costs.
So you're running the jail more efficiently, sounds like.
That's the goal, is to save the taxpayers as much money as I possibly can.
You had talked to me about a situation with a pharmacy where you found a unique way to save some money. Would you share that with the viewers?
Absolutely. I have entered into a contractual agreement with Diamond Pharmaceuticals, and it is a pharmaceutical company that every jail in the state and every prison in the state of Kentucky utilizes. And with everybody using the same pharmacy, we get our medications at a significantly lower price. And if we have an inmate who is prescribed medications and the medications comes in and they refuse the meds because they don't want to pay the copay or for whatever reasons, then we can send those unused meds back and get a credit for those. This past month, when I submitted the bills for the month of July, our medication costs were $1,221. But I had sent enough medications in for returns that we got a credit of $800. So our bill is only $420 for this month. So it is a very important and significant difference that you can get from utilizing a pharmaceutical company that is so big.
Well, it sounds like to me from our conversation that if someone you know, a loved one, whatever, gets put into the Letcher County Jail, a lot of the rumors that I've heard just aren't true. It sounds like they're going to be safe, well fed, their medical needs are going to be taken care of. You have cameras all over the jail. You can see what's going on. If there's altercations, you've got evidence of what happened. I think that's real important for the viewers to know.
Well, I know that every person that gets arrested and comes to jail is somebody's loved one. Mm-hmm. I have 3 children of my own. So if your kid gets put in jail, I want you to feel comfortable that I'm going to do everything I can to keep that person safe until they're released. Now, my phone number is published in a phone book. I'm here at home. I welcome anybody to give me a call if they have questions, comments, or concerns. They can come by here and we'll bring their loved one out, let them see for themselves that they're okay, let them talk to them. But that's my main job, is to keep people incarcerated and keep them safe while they're here.
Okay, that brings up 2 questions. Number 1, talk to me about your visitations, how that works, the hours and whatnot.
Okay, the visitation schedule for the men is Thursday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. For the women, it's Thursday and Sunday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Second question, Has anybody who's been in custody ever escaped, or has anybody who's been in the work release escaped?
We have had inmates escape from the work release program. We don't have anybody out there right now that's escaped. We haven't had anybody escape from the custody of the jail yet. So,
well, that I commend you there. Now, I had talked to you about some of the areas here in the jail that you could show me. So why don't we go ahead and do that now?
okay, that'd be fine. We're looking at the Main Street portion of the courthouse here, and the jail is located on the old Mountain Comp building side of the courthouse. And now you're looking at the public entrance, and if you have items to drop off for an inmate, or questions about an inmate, or if you want to visit an inmate, you come into the public lobby entrance of the jail, and there's an intercom here in the lobby where you can press it and receive information back from staff.
And I'm going to go ahead and just give them a full view here. Just circle around. They can see now. Which church is this back here?
This is the Graham Memorial Presbyterian Church.
Okay. And I believe that's the Hatton Law Office over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what you're looking at here is the intercom system in the public entrance of the jail.
When you push that button, who does that go to?
That goes directly to the control center.
I'll be back through all those windows. I don't know if we're getting a good shot. And there is the door that you enter in and out of, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. And we'll go ahead. I guess we can go through there.
You actually have to go through 2 locked doors to get into the secured perimeter of the jail. This is the jail's booking desk, where detainees are brought in through the Sallyport and here into the booking desk. They're booked into our jail booking systems, and everybody has a photograph taken and everybody's fingerprinted that gets arrested. This is the inmate side of the visitation room. The public lobby is the side where the visitors come in and the inmates come in on this side. You do have to talk over the telephone and look through the glass. We don't allow contact visits just because of the contraband that's possibly passed during the contact visit.
So 4 at a time can come in?
Yeah, 4.
And how long are the visits, Don?
20 minutes each.
20 minutes?
Now we're entering to the jail's kitchen where all the meals are prepared. We have an ice machine.
Where's that? Was this the ice machine?
Yes.
Okay.
We have juice machines, ovens and stoves.
Tell you what, it looks awful clean in here, man.
Yeah, the jail inspector said this was one of the cleanest kitchens he'd ever been in.
So would the inmates just come right down through here, or do you take the food to them, I guess?
We take the food to them.
Right.
Everything's prepared here in the kitchen, and
There's the juice machines.
placed on trays, and we take them around to the cells.
And what would a kitchen be without coffee?
Absolutely.
And I guess you clean all the trays and stuff in this area.
Yes.
Okay.
Have an industrial dishwasher.
Well, guys, I'm telling you, this is a nice kitchen.
This is their dry storage area. We keep all our dry goods stored.
You know what? Just looking around here, I see many of the products that I eat. Campbell's and Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, our menu plan is made up of the same types of meals that you have if you were at home.
Frosted flakes, goodness gracious.
Cheeseburgers and French fries, and pizza,
That sounds awful good to me.
gravy and biscuits.
And I'll have to come for the gravy and biscuits.
This is one of our security cameras that are part of our security system that monitor and records inside the cells.
And then you said you had another one here that actually just more or less just shows a picture.
Yes.
Now, what am I looking at here?
This is our secured camera system that monitors and records inside the cells.
And it looks pretty sophisticated to me.
Everything in the jail is controlled here. All the doors, the elevators, all the camera systems, everything is controlled right here in this control center.
And what were you telling me about this printer here?
This printer prints out to the 10th of a second when the deputy jailers come around and turn that key, signifying that they have checked on those inmates in that particular cell.
And who is this lady here?
This is Ruth Tackett. She is our day shift control room operator.
Well, Ruth, if you would, please introduce yourself and let our viewers know where you were born and tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Ruth Tackett, and I was born and raised in Ohio, but I've lived in Letcher County since 1974, and I've worked at the jail for 9 years.
What's a typical day like for you here at the jail?
It's very hectic sometimes. I operate the elevator, taking the bailiff to and from district and circuit court. I also answer both phone lines the biggest part of the time, and I open the doors to the jail cells when the guards need in and out of the cells.
Are you the lady if somebody wants to find out if someone's in jail? Or do they get to you or they get to someone else when they do?
They usually get to me, and if I can't answer their questions, I transfer them out to the front desk.
Okay. Well, listen, I appreciate you talking to us.
You're very welcome.
And what is this room here utilized for?
This is our multi-purpose room. We have GED classes and church services primarily in this room.
I've been meaning to ask you, what do you and the deputy jailers, how do you protect yourself inside of the jail?
Training and experience. We see that every new staff member receives 16 hours hands-on training here, as well as 16 hours training that's issued by the Department of Corrections on how to handle and control inmate populations. Also, there's a shift supervisor on each shift that makes all the decisions as far as the day-to-day operations during their particular shift.
I saw some radios a while ago. Do you utilize those?
Yeah, every staff member that makes a round through the jail carries a handheld radio with them at all times. This is a restraint chair here at the Letcher County Jail. It's used only to protect inmates from themselves or protect staff from inmates who are violent.
What is this machine here?
This is the AFIS machine, or automated fingerprint machine.
Where's the ink?
There's not any ink.
No ink anymore, huh?
You roll the fingers across this little glass area, and it takes fingerprints and it automatically submits them to the state and to the federal system, so that if anybody is wanted for anything in another state, in the entire United States, it'll hit and show up.
What is this device over here?
This is the breathalyzer. Any person who has been arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol are brought in here by the arresting officer, and they blow on this machine and it registers the percentage of blood alcohol in their system.
And tell our viewers our location, Don.
We are in the Sallyport. This is the garage where the arresting officer drives in with the prisoner to bring him into the jail.
And people recognize the old health department there. It's now the Letcher County Sheriff's Department and Water and Sewer Department. So it'd be like you'd be coming around the courthouse, and everybody's seen this. So the police car now, does it come from that side or this side?
It comes from this side.
So then you come in here.
They drive in here, then the door shuts behind them. Then they exit their vehicle and secure their weapon in the weapon locker.
And then if they go through that door there, that was where you were just showing me the fingerprint machine and the breathalyzer.
Right.
So, well, if you've wondered what's inside of here, I know I often have, and you're driving around the courthouse, now you know. Well, Don, I really appreciate the tour, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers have got to see things today that they've never seen before, and you've given us a lot of information I was not aware of. What direction is the jail going?
Well, we're going to continue to do what we've been doing. Evidently, the people are satisfied with the way things are being run, and I want to thank them for the opportunity to serve them for 4 more years. And I'll continue to run the jail honestly and fairly and professionally and efficiently. And I'd really like to thank the fiscal court for the government channel, because I think it does provide insight to folks who would have never seen what we just filmed here and are releasing for public view. I think it's a wonderful thing for the county and for the citizens to be able to meet their elected officials, kind of get to know them and see what they do and how they do it. And of course, we work for them. We work for the people, and they have every right to know what's going on in their respective offices. And I think the government channel really provides a wonderful opportunity to bring the elected officials and the voters closer together.
I certainly appreciate that. I think that this fiscal courts have been innovative in this channel, and there's some counties here in southeastern Kentucky who are getting ready to copy us. So that's the greatest form of flattery is imitation.
Absolutely.
So. Now I want to talk to you. You mentioned something about a website.
Yes, we are in the process of building a website for the jail where the public can click on and get the same type of information that we went over here today, with the visitation schedule and when meals are served and what programs are available and who's incarcerated and how much their bonds are, and a lot of the public information that will save them a lot of time from calling and having to ask on the phone or wait for a response or a reply. They can just click on it and get it immediately there.
Don, I really appreciate all the information in the tour today, and if my schedule will allow me, I will be back tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to come for the gravy and biscuits or, but I'll give you a holler when we'll have a meal over here with you.
Okay, glad to have you.